Hey y'all. Welcome back to another video, guys. Today I'm gonna eat pretty much the same thing I've been eating the last few days, which is my famous chicken sandwich. But it's more about the commentary today than just the food. But I will be eating some food as well. I have some spaghetti meat sauce that I made with some spaghetti, but I'm not having spaghetti. I have a chicken sandwich with some lettuce. I have a whole tomato that I'll be eating. And so before we get started, make sure you thumbs up this video. Subscribe if you haven't already. And hit the notification bell to be notified when we upload. Okay, so today, guys, oh, and bless this food. Thank you, Lord. Today, I'm going to talk about something that just recently happened to me. I'm going to tell you the story without really telling you the story, because hopefully what I'm going through, maybe I can help you, if you're going through the same thing. So before I get started, let me take a first bite of my tomato. Guys, I love tomato. I'm a country girl. Nice juicy tomato. Okay, so I feel like I'm being tested. Okay, I just recently started going, back into the social media thing and making you guys some videos and things like that. Not being tested with that. However, the ground of being on social media and making videos and trying to please people is actually good for me, because I'm not a people pleaser and I really don't care. I used to not care what I said, and if I'm hurt, if you get on my nerves, you're gonna feel it. That's usually how I am. I'm like that in real life. But I'm learning now, you can't be like that all the time. Case in point. Today, somebody really aggravated me. And I was actually trying to be something totally different than what I usually am, which is, if you aggravate me, I'm going to let you know it. I'm going to let you have it. I'm going to say choice words to you. Not cuss you out, but I'm going to make you feel like I have. But when others are involved, you can't do things like that, right? Let me take a bite. When others are involved, I can't do what I really want to do, which is let people have it. Somebody called me out my name today. Tested my whole marriage. Tested my whole being of what I'm supposed to do and what I represent for someone else. And it was a woman. And it was a woman who is pretty important. Business-wise. Not a family member. It's someone I'm supposed to be working with for someone else. And my job for my family member is to speak for them, because they're not able to do for themselves. So I had to get better with dealing with people, because first and foremost, I'm an only child. Secondly, I never was effective. I never knew how to communicate with people. If I don't like you, I cut you off. That really stopped working in my 20s. Everybody who makes me mad, I don't deal with them anymore. And then it just came to a point in my life where I didn't have anybody, other than my husband and my family. I didn't have anybody around me. And I wasn't maturing either, because you can't just go through life cutting off everybody who doesn't see eye to eye with you. So you know the whole saying, if it doesn't take you out, it makes you stronger? I'm going through that now. I literally, let my anger get the best of me on several occasions, and burnt bridges and aggravated and made things worse. And I said, Lord, if I have another chance at anything like this, I'm going to do better. Well, today was the day. I was calm with this person. I was legitimate with this person. I was logical with this person. And this person still went behind my back, so she thought, talked mess to my husband, talking about this, and this. I mean, it was really bad. And I felt sorry for my husband because my husband was like, oh my gosh, like, you know, I can't be like, this is not like the streets where I can, oh, that's my woman. Like, he's not that type of person. He's very, very, very calm. It doesn't necessarily mean, it doesn't matter what the situation is, Andrew's calm. And so at first that used to get on my nerves that he's so calm, because I used to think, well, that means you really don't care if you're calm. That's not true, people. That's not true. You don't have to get emotional with everything, even though it may be an emotional situation. And the situation I'm talking about, it's pretty emotional. So it's so bad. Like my husband, he knows my temper. Because this thing has like kind of brewed for 2 weeks, and today it just came to a head. And I was like, you know what? This isn't going fast enough. This is not going to what I like. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to deal with it. And he was like, hold up, Jenna. What are you going to do? I said, I'm going to be calm. I'm going to say what God tells me to say. And it's so funny because whenever he tries to call this person to get things done, they never answer. They don't answer. He has to text them several times, and then all of a sudden they answer. You know, like maybe 2-3 days they'll return the call. Well, this happened one time. I called. I said, I'm gonna just leave a message on there. He said, no, I'm gonna text. I said, no, you text, but I'm still gonna call. She answers the phone. I said, well, okay. I guess it wasn't meant. It happened like that today too. I said, okay, this is not going fast enough. He said, no, I'm gonna text. I said, no, you can text, but I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna say what I need to say on this answer machine. Voicemail. Guess what? She answered. So I let her know. I was like, you know, XYZ, XYZ, XYZ. And she was like, well, she was getting smart with me the whole time. But even though she was getting smart with me, I was still being professional, because my smart and her smart are two different things. Sisters, women, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? It's only like, the thing about it is, because everything that I've done during this whole situation has been recorded, has been written down. I am known to be difficult, female doggish. Don't know why. All I am is, you know, I'm a person who just feels like certain things need to be done. Certain treatment needs to be treated. And you're supposed to treat people with respect. You know what I mean? And if you don't treat people with respect, you can't get mad at the reaction, right? Nah. My husband taught me this. When you're dealing with professionals, and by professionals, whether it's anything, your job, anything, you still have to not take it but so far. And the thing about it is that I know that I'm being tested is because they know what my weakness is. My weakness is anger. My weakness is my emotions. Emotions does not, excuse me, being emotional and having business being taken care of don't mix. You know how they say business and pleasure is doesn't mix? Well, your emotions have nothing to do with business. How you emotionally feel about somebody, how you emotionally feel about a subject, has nothing to do with business. I had to learn that the hard way. And so, I don't know if anybody needs to hear that that's watching this video, but it doesn't matter how you feel about something. You have to always keep it business. Case in point. I'm taking it back because this is Black History Month. Martin Luther King versus Malcolm X. Right? These men were saying the same thing, just differently. Okay? And while I'm telling you this, I'm actually learning as I'm talking, because that's the blessing that God has given me, where He gives me a platform to talk. And so it looks like I'm the person who knows everything, but I don't. I'm actually talking. God is feeding me right now, and I'm just talking to you guys, and I'm actually listening to me. And I actually listen to my own videos too. And I said, wow, where did this come from? All knowledge comes from Him. So check what I'm talking about as far as emotion doesn't have anything to do with business. Martin Luther King was a business person. Now, this is my opinion, my take on the whole situation of what happened and why certain things happened for him versus what didn't happen for Malcolm. By the way, there's a Netflix documentary on Malcolm X, on who hurt Malcolm X. Watch it. I actually watched all of that in one day, and it enlightened me so well. It really did. And yeah, go check it out. But Martin Luther King, he was more of a businessman. Not saying that he was not emotional. Not saying that he did not put his love and his blood and sweat and tears in the movement. Not saying that. But he kept it business. He kept his feelings of how he really felt about what was going on at this certain time to himself to get things done. Okay? That's why some people fall in line with Martin versus Malcolm. You know, Malcolm, he was emotional by any means necessary. He has a picture out there when he was out there standing at his darn window with a whatever. You know, he was a militant man. Am I saying one was better than the other? No. In fact, towards the end of Malcolm's life, he probably realized that all of that emotion that he had probably made things worse. He tried to change, but it was too late. Now, let me let you know, either way, both people did go down pretty much the same way. You know what I mean? However, things were pushed much further with Martin because he kept his emotions down. And so I'm saying that, like, through my own life and what I've seen, when I'm emotional and when I show people everything, I don't get too far. I make things worse. And so today I just felt like I was being tested to see, okay, this is like a round 2. Let's see how much you've learned during the time when it was just thrown on you. See, that first time, you know, like the saying says, God has grace for babies and fools. Like, we've all been babies and we've all been fools. I mean, we've all been just thrown stuff. Gotta take another bite, guys. We've all been thrown things out of nowhere, and we're not expected to learn how to deal with them the first time. But when that thing come down a second and third and fourth time, you're expected to know what to do and say, you know what, I'm not going to do this time. I'm going to go about it differently. Because that's what insanity is. Insanity is doing the same thing, expecting different results. Not saying when you change it up, not saying when you get better, everything gonna go your way, because that's not it. However, it's not going to be as disastrous as the first time. As disastrous as the first time. That's all I'm saying. So at the end of the day, lady didn't see eye to eye with me. However, she still talked about me. She still don't like me. And she still called me a name. And she still was disrespectful. But at the end of the day, things still got done. You get what I'm saying? Was I happy about everything? No. Was my feelings hurt? Yeah. Because I thought if you did everything the right way, things supposed to happen the right way. The only person I have control over is me. I don't have any other control over anyone else. I can't control what that woman does. I can kind of like control how the situation goes. But I can't control what she says to me and what she thinks about me. But just understand this. What's in people's heart come out. So today, if we thought something about her, that she was on our side, or she was this, or she was that, it was confirmed today that this lady is not. However, this is another lesson I'm learning. Even though I don't necessarily like the situation, I don't like everything that's going on, business still has to get done. That brings me back to Martin and Malcolm. Like, just because I don't like you doesn't mean that things don't need to get done and things don't need to be changed. And that's what it is. Like, you have to, like, put yourself on a back burner for the bigger cause. And so the bigger cause supersedes your own feelings sometimes. Because if you put your feelings in the front, it's going to be all about your feelings and not about you getting things done. And then what is that going to serve? You know what I mean? And it's so sad that, well, I'm not going to say it's sad. It's just real. It's real that change comes from adversity. I've been having problems with my emotions since I was 7 years old. It's the type of person I used to be. I used to hold stuff in, let people say whatever, and I held it in. When you hold stuff in, it just means that you don't know how to communicate. You're not being strong. You're not being slick. And you're not really solving anything, because at the end of the day, it's going to come out. It's going to come out through emotion. It's going to come out through aggression. It's going to come out through your actions. Everything that you hold in has to go somewhere. It's going to go to your mind. It's going to go to your body. It's going to go somewhere. So you just not dealing with it and holding it in is doing absolutely, positively nothing but ruining and damaging your soul, your spirit, and your whole being. So if you want to live in this life more abundantly, you have to learn how to communicate. So when people get on my nerves now, I just say to myself, okay, I take a few breaths. Remember, I'm 38 years old. This little thing that I have now and that I'm talking to you guys about, it's not something I've had long. This is just something that I'm coming up with as I'm going. You know what I mean? And you're going to get this lesson on your own. Like, you've heard this. Maybe I'm placing the seed. But you're not going to be, like, necessarily a boss at your emotions over one video. But I'm just letting you know, like, I used to be really, really bad. And now I'm forced. Sometimes, if you don't get it silently, you're going to get it abruptly. Like, if God wants you to get a lesson, you're going to get it. That's real. And so I have to take breaths. I have to think. People think they know me because I used to wear my emotions on my sleeve. That's how I used to do my videos back in the day. Like, if you said something to me on social media, I was like, what? Like, that was all of my childhood coming out online. Like, God was letting me know, like, girl, you got some issues, okay? You can't just be letting everybody know what you're thinking. So now, like, I've learned you can't do that. And remember, if you don't remember nothing else I said during this video, remember this. You know how people say, don't take me there. Don't make me do this, and that. Nobody can make you do a darn thing. I got out of that seat where I blame other people for my actions. Oh, she said this, so I said this. No. Because one thing you can control yourself. You can control how you react to stuff. You can control what you say to people. You can control how you act. Nobody can take you out of what you know. Like today, I had to learn that. Like that lady probably was attempting to take me back to where this is my saying, take me back to 88. She tried to take me back to 88. But I didn't allow her to take me back to 88. I stayed my composure, I calmed down, and at the end of the day, I removed myself from the situation because I know that I'm not going to sit here and make you see it my way. I don't have time to make somebody respect me. It's either you want to respect me or you not. And so once the respect isn't there, and respect doesn't necessarily mean like. Respect just means that you're not going to say anything to me, and you're not going to put your hands on me. That's respect. And so when that's not in the equation, there is no relationship, there is no business relationship. So for me to avoid it to get any further, I removed myself from the situation. And I didn't feed into her actions. Now, if I do something, that's on me. You know what I mean? You can't make me do nothing. Like social media. You can't make me react to anything. It's either I'm going to react or I'm not going to react. And what I do react to is because I want to. Once people feel like they have your buttons and they can press them anytime, you're no longer your own. You are a property of someone else. And one thing you don't want to have property of somebody else are your emotions. Did you hear that? That's one thing you do not want somebody to have control over, are your emotions. And more than likely, if you don't have control over your emotions, someone else does. And that's dangerous. So, I hope you guys learned from that today. I am a believer of helping others. As I go through stuff, as I learn things, I like to give back and let my people who support this channel and support what my husband and I does, so you can reap the rewards of that as well. That way, what I go through won't be in vain. Guys, make sure you thumbs up this video. Subscribe if you haven't already. Comment. Let me know, what do you think? What do you think about what I said? Did it hit you one way? Did it hit you another? Let's talk about it. Okay, guys? Thank you for watching, and see you next time.